everyone, welcome back to another weekly episode of Simplicity TV. I am Jen Pike, your host, and today is all about functional testing. So this is something that I know I throw this term around a lot on Instagram and in stories and probably here before. And I know it's not something that is mainstream languaging and knowledge for a lot of people, is understanding what does that actually mean? A, what is functional testing mean? And B, what are some of these and why would I ever do that? Why would I invest in it? Why would I want to request this? What would be some of the things that I would be seeing on this? So what you will find is that I refer to full panel blood work as functional testing. And here's the reason being. Standard blood work that is your basic hematology is giving us part of the picture. It is not telling us or helping us to understand the full spectrum of what it is that is going on in your body. When we run a full panel of blood work meaning that we're looking at your hematology, we're looking at all of your iron markers, we're looking at your hormone markers, we're looking at your full thyroid markers, we're looking at inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, we're looking at complete triglyceride levels and cholesterol, fasting glucose, HbA1c. We're really pulling back and looking at the full gamut. That now becomes a more functional test because it is showing us more about the function, the ability, the blind spots that are happening within your body. So that's one version, and that's what we do inside the Hormone Project, is we do a full analysis of functional blood lab work, okay? The second test that we run is the Dutch, which is it's an acronym. It's not a Dutch test. It's actually based out of the US, and it stands for Dried Urinary Test for Comprehensive Hormones. And the Dutch test is showing us, it's about 14 pages of reporting, 6 pages of actual analysis that we take you through. And so we actually take you through these results. I send you the test to your home. You do it at home. You're peeing on little pieces of paper. And then I pull up on screen and show you results and walk you through so you understand every aspect. I also record this for you so that you can go back and take notes because it's a lot of info. You will not be able to remember it all in the consult. So we're looking at the total amount of hormones that you produce in sex hormones. So estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. We're looking at the way that you break those hormones down, your metabolites of those hormones. For a woman, for instance, who has oily skin, cystic acne, hair loss on her head, but hair growth on her chin, her chest, other areas that she's not really desiring, we can test and see, do her androgens have an impact on this? Does she have high levels of DHEA, which her adrenals and her ovaries are producing? Does she have high levels of testosterone? Does she have high levels of a metabolic pathway that is called 5-alpha reductase that aromatizes and converts into something called 5-HT? And if a woman has these really elevated levels, this is most likely why she's getting the acne. She probably also at some point has had issues with irregular menstrual cycles, maybe even PCOS. And when we know this, we don't have to guess for this woman. We don't have to try umpteen protocols, umpteen plans, umpteen supplements. We can focus our energy towards that area of her body within as little as 2 to 3 menstrual cycles, have a big difference in her skin, her hair, her mood, and so much more. So we're looking at hormone production, hormone breakdown, and metabolization. We also get a glimpse into a couple of genetic SNPs, COMT enzyme, and that is going to help us to understand, is this woman methylating? Does her body do the ability of binding up and neutralizing these toxins in phase 2 detox before shipping them out to phase 3, which is where she's pooping them out, peeing them out, and sweating them out? We also get a 24-hour picture of your diurnal pattern of your adrenals, where we can see how much cortisol are you producing, how much of the cortisol that you're producing is staying free, which means it's active, it's available, how much is your body binding up and deactivating into cortisone, which means you're in a stressful situation. Your body is looking for and requiring cortisol, adrenaline, those hormones that help you react and respond, but it's bound up as cortisone and you cannot pull from that. Your body can't utilize it. That's a marker of inflammation. That helps us understand and see that full picture. We can also understand the deeper connection between the adrenal function and why your thyroid is not feeling optimal, why you have light periods, why you have breakthrough bleeding, why you can't get up in the morning, why you have a racing heart, why you can't fall asleep at night, why you wake up between at 1 and 4 in the morning. Then we're also looking at your actual melatonin levels. So melatonin does more than help us sleep. Melatonin is a massive antioxidant. And so looking at melatonin and glutathione markers, we can understand and see how well your body is doing at being able to fend off a lot of the free radicals and foreign invaders that are coming in. We also look at your neurotransmitters. So we're looking at things like your dopamine, right? And these neurotransmitters, they are happening on a gut level, primarily where they're produced. So your dopamine, your adrenaline, your noradrenaline. We're looking at things like 8-OHDG, which is a biomarker of oxidative stress and DNA damage inside your body. We also are able to look at that in comparison to your phase 1 detox. And for women who primarily shuttle their estrogen down a 16, to be concerned about their breast health. We need to make sure they understand the things to do to avoid dense breast tissue, fibroids, cysts, possible changes in the cell structure that could lead to things like cancer. So there's a high correlation between certain pathways and what we see in our breast health. And then there's a 4 pathway, and that pathway is known more as the carcinogenic pathway. There's more opportunity if your body is shuttling more of your excess hormones that you're breaking down through this 4 pathway. This pipe, this slide, drain essentially is leading down a path where there can be more quinone formation. There can be more changes that happen on a cellular structure that can contribute to things like autoimmune conditions, like cancer, and other issues. So these are really powerful levels of information that a functional test like the Dutch test can give us more to go on. It's not a diagnostic tool. It is a communicating tool. It is an opportunity to see what's going on inside this woman's body, for us to lay it next to her blood work, have the deeper conversation of, okay, let's really talk about these symptoms. How long has this been going on for? What have you tried previously? What is it that you're taking medication-wise? What type of surgery or intervention? Oh, you've had ablations? Oh, you've had ultrasounds on your ovaries? Oh, they found fibroids X amount of years ago? Oh, you've been told that potentially you have endometriosis. We need to step back. And how we do this is through communicating with you. This is why in the Hormone Project, the consults are so important. But then looking at the testing is allowing us to have a completely different microscope, a completely different lens to look at. And so it's really important. The other functional test that I will oftentimes bring in and utilize is called a GI map test. It's a gastrointestinal test, and that is looking at your poop, your stool. So you poop in a container at home. There's like a whole little system. Ship it off, we send it to you. And this helps me to understand, do you have parasites? Do you have any type of bacterial cultures? Do you have C. difficile, Salmonella, E. coli? Do you have H. pylori? Do you have potential autoimmune triggers? Do you actually have a sensitivity to gluten? What is your secretory IgA function? What is your elastase function? These things help me to understand, do you in fact have damage to the wall, the barrier of your gut? Do you have leaky gut? Do you have high levels of calprotectin, which means that there is inflammation? We can tell if there's blood in the stool. We can see worms, parasites, protozoas. Do you have too much bacterial culture? Not enough bacterial culture? Do you have SIBO? Do you have candida? Do you have fungi? Do you have antibiotic resistance in your system? So this really helps with the woman who her gut is an absolute mess. It has been for years. She's not pooping, or everything goes through her. She can't eat because everything irritates her. She has food sensitivities. Like, there's nothing that this woman can ingest. And if we get to a point where it's like, there's something else, there's something I'm not seeing, I need to go deeper, I will pull out the GI map test. Sometimes it's the very first thing I do. Like, if that woman I just described with all these red lights and flags in her gut, why would I not do that test up front? So it's really important information. And then you can do hair trace mineral analysis, which will tell us about your mineral state as well as heavy metals. And this, again, if things are bound up in your system, this can be where we really start. If adrenals and thyroid are a big part of the issue, we can do organic acid, see how much you're actually absorbing in terms of your vitamins, minerals, and nutrients out of your food. There's food sensitivity testing that we can do. So I mean, if you saw the list of tests that as a functional diagnostic nutritionist I can run, you'd be like, what? There's so many that we can be doing, but we don't get told this because regular MDs don't know how to run them, haven't been taught, and don't run them. You can't order them through them. You have to work with a functional practitioner who not only has the ability to run the test, this is really important, not only has the ability to run the test, but actually knows how to break the test down and explain it to you, and then put a healthy, proper protocol together, because you can put an inappropriate protocol together that could cause more harm than good. You could be given the wrong type of information. So it's really important that who you're working with fully knows and understands. Like, we run HTMA testing. It's not my scope. I run the test and then I refer and connect them out with other colleagues of mine. We're like, that's their unicorn gift, is that. So really important to understand the gamut of testing. I've created a little accessory video for you to go through so you can see some of the examples. If in doubt, reach out to us. Number one, we'll help you decipher which test you actually need, because you don't need to order them all, and you have to pay out of pocket for this. This is not something your insurance is going to cover. This is not something that it isn't. These tests you have to pay out of pocket for it. So sometimes you also need to save for the test. But the thing I always say to people when they say, oh, well, I can't afford that. It's like, well, how much longer can you afford to feel like garbage? How much longer can you afford to poop twice a week or have all your food running through your back end like water? How much longer can you be full of cysts and fibroids and lumps in your breast and be so scared every time you go for a checkup you're going to get back news? How much longer can you be suffering with heavy clotting, horrible periods, not sleeping, no sex drive, losing your hair, and cystic acne? Like, I'm not trying to be like, Debbie Downer, although I know that all sounded horrible. I'm trying to get you to wake up and realize that every day we are spending money on things that are actually making all of those things worse. Every day we are spending money on things that we don't even realize are leaking from us. Your cable bill, your phone bill, all these things you're paying for, the membership you don't use, all the stuff. Sit down and take a collective look at where do you actually have this health bank that you didn't even know existed that you can start to pull from. Make the decision for yourself to take that next step. Reach out to us. If it's nutritional counseling that you need, we can help you with that. If it's the functional testing, we can help you with that. If you need the full spectrum within the Hormone Project, apply for that. And here's the thing, you never know unless you reach out and you ask. We offer payment plans. We're very cooperative as a company. Our goal is to be able to help you, and we're very honest. If you apply for something, like there are women that apply for the Hormone Project, where when we review the application, and sometimes we'll get on the phone with them and just say, I want to get a little bit more info, where I say to them, I don't think this is a fit for you. If you literally can't eat anything because of your food sensitivities, you don't have a period, you have PCOS, you have Lyme's disease, you have all these different things that are all going on at the same time, you need something more specific and individualized than the Hormone Project for you. You need probably 6 months of one-on-one coaching along with the functional test. And I'm saying that to you because I want you to understand I'm not in this just for the money. If I was, there wouldn't be an application process for the Hormone Project. I would just be like, fair game, open it up, let whoever sign up, money, 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 counting my bills. That's not what I do, because it also is challenging as a practitioner if we're not working with somebody who is right for the program. It's more work for me to have to work with someone like all those things I just mentioned. There's no way I can help a woman effectively in 3 sessions, not even maybe. I need months upon months with her because there are multiple things that are happening. And so I think it's important to be honest with you about that, because a lot of people aren't, and essentially they're stealing your money. And if someone tells you, oh yeah, within a couple sessions and with this and that, we can we'll heal you. Those are very big words to use, and I would caution anybody who is doing that, because I'm not going to heal you. You're going to heal you. I am going to be part of the process of you uncovering the things that you need to know are going on in your system, and I am going to help you explore the journey in front of you and the options and choices to how you can get to a place where you feel more healed, you feel better, you have the energy, the function, all of those things. So As with many of our episodes, this is just about full transparency with you. I want to work with you. I want to work with you if you feel like you're the woman who needs everything that I just talked about, but I will never just take your money so that I can create a deposit in my bank account and then walk away and be like, oh God, I can't help that woman at all. You will never get that from me. So just know that up front. I think as well too, it'd be helpful when you're deciding about what it is you need is to actually go to the page all about the Hormone Project, jenpike.com/the Hormone Project, is to go to the Synced page, jenpike.com/synced. Maybe you need some more body awareness, cycle awareness, symptom awareness, that's Synced. If you need the coaching, that's THP. If you need private coaching with one of our coaches, then you reach out to hello@jenpike.com and we'll help you understand who on our team would be best suited for you. So I know that one could be a little overwhelming, which is why I've created the little Zoom video below for you to be able to actually, I'm going to take you through these tests and understand those things. And any questions at any time, just reach out to us. I am trying to ultimately create more simplicity and more ease for you in everything that you do. But I also fully understand that the learning curve is a huge one because we just simply haven't been taught it. And I'm committed to changing that. So have an awesome rest of your day. I really look forward to hopefully working with you at some point in the future.